It's 8 o'clock.
Say something.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi.
we're talking about relationships coming from a black woman's perspective. Are you gonna jump on, or are you about to run? Wow, boy, she took off.
Take your dog, Kaya, please.
I didn't thought she could run that fast.
You ran, right? Okay. Whew, the dog is gone. Phew.
Oh, wait a minute. Or is she running upstairs to come back down?
No, she ran. Let her go. That's a different generation. I don't know what you're gonna get. I don't know what you're gonna get with that one. That's the new generation. We will sit there and all take notes from them. Like what? Like, no.
All right, I'm just getting set up. Let's put this like this. Spell it wrong.
I'm just making it home.
Oh, you got time. I'm just still getting set up.
Okay, great.
You're right on time. It's 8:01.
When I tell you I was flying
I didn't want you to read.
and running, almost running lights. I'm like, oh, it's still yellow. Perfect timing. Come get some stuff out the car.
You must have sent the boy out. That's a son. Gotta be.
Come get some stuff out the car. I don't know. This, and this, and then stuff in the over there.
This.
Yeah, leave those two.
Where'd you go?
Dare to care.
All right. We live. All right, Jerome, go ahead and do your, wait, man, we want to wait and just let it populate and get Tracy on.
All right.
But you can go ahead and do your, you know, your very famous words of inspiration.
All right. Hold on. Let me. You already tagged me, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I came back.
All right.
I'm here.
Trying to. Well, I was trying to share it off the platforms.
Yeah, text me which ones you did so I know not to share the same thing.
Where you sharing it at?
No, I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop up.
I tried to turn my video on. It wouldn't allow me to.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. There you go. Now you can turn your video on.
Okay.
I get blamed like it's my fault all the time. I don't know why.
Oh, because of the host, maybe?
All right. Wait for Jerome. And then we just lost Jerome. Well, basically, today this is another Three-Headed Monster podcast. We're in a part two to relationship. But I know last week we did it from a male's point of view. And today, no, we need women on this one. So we're gonna let y'all, give us your point of view or whatever pointers y'all can help us out with when it comes to this. And we're gonna go from there. So
Hold on a second.
There you go. There you go.
I'm back. Guess who's back?
Go ahead
Welcome
and do your
back.
thing, Jerome. Start it off.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Three-Headed Monster podcast. Today's topic is going to be a continuation of last week when we had a male's point of view of relationship within the Black community. This podcast will be about the women's perspective of the relationship in the Black community. As always, everything that we talk about is clearly our opinions and strictly our thoughts. Anything that you hear, please do not believe it. Do not believe anything that we say. Take what you hear, research it for yourself, find the truth for yourself, come back, let's discuss it, let's politic, let's build. So I'll let everybody introduce themselves. So what's up, B?
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? It's Brother Brian, aka Silverback. We got a good one today. I got my pad and I'm ready to take notes. Right now we have 2 queens. We should have a couple more come on a little bit later, but I want to get the insight from a woman's point of view. So, what's going on, Necole? How you doing?
Hi, how are you, everybody? Doing well. Right here, hanging in here in Charlotte, in the Queen City. Speaking of Queens, I'm sitting in the Queen City. So.
Okay. And then we got we lost Tracy again.
It says disabled.
All right, wait a minute. I got
We can hear you.
What? Whoa! What happened? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's on. This one is on me.
Technical difficulties.
I know. Especially on.
That's what live. You got to be prepared for anything when you're live. She's back.
There she go. All right, my bad, Tracy. I hit the wrong button.
Her video and sound.
All right.
There
You got me now. Okay. Hey, everybody. Introduction. My name is Tracy Grant. I'm originally from Arkansas. I live down in South Florida now, in Coral Springs, right outside of Fort Lauderdale. And I love talking about relationships. Let's get it.
No, that's right. Oh, plug your show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I have a radio show. It's in the App Store or Google Play. It's Tracy's World. So search for Tracy's World in the App Store or Google Play, and you'll find me. If you need the link, then I can also send the link as well. But it's Tracy's World. I do a radio show. That's me. I do a radio show Monday through Friday. It's Monday. I have specialized in each day. So Monday is Keep It Real with Don segment. That's my brother, and he has a segment on Monday nights. On Wednesdays, I do gospel. So it's my Worship Wednesday. Thursday, I do Throwback Thursday. Friday, I do Ask Friday. But tonight, Friday, it's a tribute to Michael Jackson since tomorrow's his birthday. So I'll be playing MJ all night tonight. It's normally an hour-long show from 9 to 10. Sometimes I go a little bit longer. And then I do a show on Sundays, Worship Sunday. Thank you.
Yeah, as long as you just play the whole Off the Wall album, I'm good with Mike.
I know, right?
Mike was black.
You know what I mean? I love that album. So let's get it in. Jerome, you got any questions?
Oh man, I'm gonna reserve questions. I'm gonna let you start off. Got the notepad.
All right, women. All right, this is actually from, like I said, I'm writing down notes. What is a relationship to you? Let's start off. Who wants to start that off?
Hey, Tracy.
Okay. What is a relationship to me? A relationship to me is, so first of all, there are different types of relationships. Either like a relationship with someone of the opposite sex, that's a romantic relationship, or friendship. You can have different types of relationships. But if we're talking about relationships as far as romantic, the romantic aspect, it's someone that's connected emotionally, spiritually, sexually. We're connected, we're communicating, we're having a great relationship.
All right.
Exactly.
So I agree with Tracy. There's multiple types of relationship. We have a friendship. I have a lot of people that I call my brothers, all around the world. And then of course there are relationships, someone that you're dating, that you're involved with. But from the dating perspective, mentally, for me, it has to be we have to meet mentally first. Obviously the first thing you notice, are you attracted to them? But I could be attracted to you like immediately, like you could be fine. Wow. But once we start talking,
Turn off. You hear me?
Right.
Like, okay,
You
we're
look
not
like,
cute no more.
Right. Like, what happened?
and vice versa.
That's true.
And vice versa. They could not be that attractive, but then once the conversation is flowing, then it's like,
yes. Oh.
Hey. Okay, now go back. What's your name again?
Right. I'm sorry. What's your name?
So wait a minute. So you're saying a dude that's not attractive, as long as he have that conversation, can grab you, he can actually attract you by just the conversation that it gives you, or the way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You just
Absolutely. Conversation, swag, whatever.
Yes.
Confidence. They say confidence is key. Confidence is definitely key, because you could not be that attractive but have the confidence like you the finest thing on the planet, but not cocky, because there's a difference.
I was just about to say. Yep. Because
when you're cocky,
don't get arrogant. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's a turn off as well. But absolutely, yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question, V.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Your turn.
Oh, appreciate it. I know, Tracy, when you was naming off some things about what you thought relationship was, right? So why is it that so many people, not just women, why is it so many people get into a relationship without all the boxes being checked off?
That's a good question, because sometimes, I don't want to call it desperation, but sometimes people, they are like, well, it's taking too long. All right, Lord, Now,
Maybe
I've been
he's the
waiting
one.
long enough.
Right, right.
Yeah, that
Right.
too. And it's like, okay, well, maybe they don't have to have this. And, maybe they start, lowering their standards. And that's what a lot of people do, men
Right.
and women. They have a standard set, but then, and what I like to say all the time is waiting is the hardest part. So you can pray about something and believe God for something, but then you have to wait. And if you don't have the stick-to-itiveness to wait on God, then you start lowering those standards, and then you start accepting any and everything. Or people that like, okay, well, he talked to me crazy sometimes. I'm going, now this is not me personally, because no, but he talked to me crazy sometimes. I'm gonna go on and accept that. So, they just start lowering
The
standards, thinking I have to have somebody, or I need somebody, because some people think that they need someone, or that they always have to have someone, instead of just taking that moment, that time to step back. Because what I found is you have to learn to love yourself. And if
Right.
you can't love yourself first, nobody else is going to love you the way you need to be loved, because you have to learn to love yourself. And once you do, you're not going to accept any and everything.
Very true. Very true.
How important is that? Because a lot of people, they tend to want to love on somebody else to make them feel like they loved. You see what I'm saying? Or make them feel like, okay, I'm loving myself by showing my love towards somebody else. How damaging is that when it comes to anybody? That's male or female, when they come into a relationship. When you don't love yourself, but you're trying to
You lose
express it.
yourself. So you lose yourself. You lose who you are. You don't know who you are. And at that point, you're trying to create a person for the other person. And that's not who you are. Right? Because you're thinking, oh, he wants me to do this, or he wants me to do that. But you're not going to meet the standard that individual has, because I don't know who I am yet. Right? And so at some point, it's going to be unattainable. You're reaching for something that you don't even know what you're reaching for. Right? So when you don't love yourself, and you're trying to, the way I show how I love myself, I'm just going to love on him. Wait, what? Wait, huh?
Exactly.
It can be very damaging.
Right. Exactly. And then and you will beat up on your own self in your own mind, because he has this expectation. Like I always ask my friends when they get ready to get married, like, what's your expectation in marriage? How do you define marriage? Right? Because I have a vision of marriage, and he has the vision of marriage. Have you two talked about what marriage really looks like? Right? So the same thing in a relationship is like, so if you don't know who you are, you don't know how to love yourself, then you're just going to love all over him and try to be the expectation he has in his mind. That's a goal that you can't reach.
One thing that I like to, and I talk about this on my show sometimes, the 5 love languages, because the way one person receives love or one person shows love, it could be different. So I could say that I love somebody. To me, showing love may be quality time, but to somebody else, it may be, that person, he may not want quality time. He may want, he may need words of affirmation. So the way that I'm trying to show love is not how he's receiving love. So first, I think we need to do is find out how we receive love. We have to know how we receive love. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, receiving gifts, and there's another one that I always forget. So there's 5 of them. And once you know how you receive love and how you want to be loved, quality time and physical touch are my top 2. It could be all 5, but those are my top 2. And if in order for him, he may be, buying me gifts, but that's not how I receive love. The gifts are nice, but I need quality time. The gifts are cool, but I need physical touch. So once you know how you receive love, then you can express it to the person that you're in a relationship with, and they can know how to love you. Because if they don't know how to love you, you just gonna be sitting miserable, expecting him to love you or expecting her to love you, and they don't know how.
And you're missing the mark. Everybody's missing the mark.
Everybody's missing the mark. Like, well, I'm doing this. This is how I was taught to show love, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but that's not how I receive love. So once that's talked about and understood, then we can, like I said, we can just be loving on one another. It's all gravy.
That was powerful. But I think a lot of people need to hear that, because what happens is a lot of people do lose themselves within a relationship because they're not loving themselves. In other words, you just leaning on somebody as a crutch just to get you through. So that's something that a lot of people need to hear, because a lot of people going into relationships basically like that. Not understanding or know how to love yourself. That's another thing that a lot of people need to understand, is how to love yourself and how to, because is it my job to make you happy, or is it your job for you to be happy? And then if we both happy, everything works. I guess that's a question. That is a question. Let's go with that.
That's a good question. And it's not somebody else's job to make you happy. You have to be happy on your own first. And then what I like to say is I have to be whole first. I can't go into a relationship half a person, half of me. Broken. I have to be whole, broken, yes. And once I come, fully together, then, I can love myself. You shouldn't be expecting somebody else to do that for you. Let me this other thing. The other one that I couldn't think of is acts of service. That was the other one. So it's words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. You can look that up. 5 love languages.
Yeah, I think that book was written in the 80s.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
So is it not relevant now because it was done in the 80s?
I know, right? I got
it is.
So if somebody is at an age where they're getting into a serious relationship and you don't know how to love yourself already at that age, when we say, well, you need to love yourself first, well, who's teaching you if nobody taught you up until that point? And so when you learn what love is, I think it's a lot of us learn to love ourselves from a place of hurt. A lot of us learn to love ourselves from a place of abandonment. And it's, even though we're learning to love ourselves, it's still misshaped because we're at a point where we're too old to be taught. And so, and when I say be old to be taught, I'm talking about from the past. No. Please let me finish my point. I'm not saying that you. I was you fine. From the point of which what you have already should have learned. So everything is new, and a lot of time we misinterpret reciprocation with love, and love is not what I give, what should come back, and that tends to deal with expectations. Expectations is an extremely dangerous thing because our expectations are strictly in our minds. And it's not with the other person, it's strictly in our mind. So you have to teach the other person how to love you. And that's the trick, teaching the other person how to love you, what you need, the things that are acceptable for you. Of course, you should be happy within yourself because if you don't, you give the control of who you are to the other person. So you have to have happiness within yourself, and not from anyone else. But go ahead, Brian. I'll let him answer your question. I'm sorry.
No. King Tut is on here. King Tut. Yo, we getting these women's point of view. We asking questions that we want answered. I'm learning.
Let me.
Go ahead.
Jerome did ask a question at the beginning, and he said, "How can you? If you haven't been taught to love yourself? How can you love yourself? Well, I think first, it's going to take some prayer. It's going to take some studying. It may even take some counseling. And a lot of us people of color, you know, are afraid and think that's a bad thing to do, to seek counseling, but it's not. And, you know, counseling helps you see things in a different light. Counseling helps you may be going through something, or you see that each relationship that you've been in, it's ended the same, or some of the same things have happened, not knowing that some of your behavior may be caused, or may have been caused when you were a child, things that you didn't even think about, some hurt that you know, swept under a rug and that you maybe even forgotten about, and it's affecting your relationships today. I think that's when counseling is extremely important, to help you see those things, because you may not know otherwise. When I was because I went through counseling, I'm not ashamed to admit it, but when I went through counseling, she did bring something back that was like long, way when I was a little girl. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I never would have put that with what I'm going through. I never would have thought that that would have been the root cause. And then that cycle that I've been going through was from way back then, but it allows you to see things in a different light. And so definitely prayer, definitely studying, counseling, and just learning who you are, and a lot of self-reflecting, learning who you are and learning to love who you are, taking self-confidence building courses, you know, things like that.
Necole, you want to jump in on that one?
No, I agree. I was waiting for self-aware, so I was like, yes, you have to be aware and open to. You also have to be open. But you know, when you go into these relationships, as you know, we all bring baggage into these different relationships, but we also have to be aware and like kind of feel like, wait, I didn't like that. You know, I didn't like how I felt through that. Why? You know, you're right, counseling. But some people, you know, as African Americans, some people don't do counseling, but the awareness of what's going on in there, you know, even when when there was anger and everybody was yelling and screaming, but you have to reflect what triggered. That's what I do anyway, for me. What triggered that anger? Why am I so mad? What is going on? But that's me reflecting on me, trying to get to the root cause of what triggered that, because I don't want to feel that energy no more. That's how I look at it, right? I want to be in that space. So that's the toxic space. So now let me figure out what triggered it. Okay, now let's go back calmly and like, okay, babe, babe, can we talk?
No, we don't like to hear that.
Oh Lord.
You know, but to make me and understand where we can have a normal conversation, because it can't go into yelling. This is what triggered me being angry and where it came from, you know, because everybody's learning everybody too, right? So it's that self-reflection, that self-awareness, so that, okay, babe, I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, I didn't realize that triggered you, because we all raised in different households, right? And we're all being taught differently. And then you coming together trying to build a relationship with all these different different personalities, right? So well, I'm at a point, I'm too old to be sick. We gotta talk.
Right.
Yo,
that was guessing the game. I'm not playing that. I don't have time for
it. That was powerful. I never paid no attention, because you coming from a different household, so you coming up with a different upbringing. So whatever the relationship they have seen is what
that's the relationship they're gonna reflect. You're in a relationship. We're reflecting the relationships that we've seen in our past, right? So if there wasn't a dad in the household, then that guy doesn't know, you know, what that leadership looks like if he was only raised by a whole bunch of women. So he's treating you the way, and then he wants you to treat him the way his mama and sisters and all them.
We will not be an enabler.
Right,
That's
but you
deep
know,
though.
but
That's deep.
I'm just joking. But you know,
Being real.
but but it's what you bring it into the relationship. As Erica Badu, that song "Bag Lady," you bring in them bags, like you know. So be aware, that self-awareness, and be like, okay, wait, let's talk about this.
All right, all right. Chuck, you got any questions? This is a
Uh,
building
uh,
process, buddy.
I mean, the ladies, it's a pleasure to be in y'all presence, ladies, first and foremost. But they hit on some vital parts, you know, that I definitely agree with. Is like Tracy was saying, you know, from her enactments with a therapist, how she was able to go back into some of her histories of growing up, and how those things, they have very big implications of how you're going to be as an adult. And you know, like even Necole was just saying, you know, being raised in a certain household. I mean, of course, we always can reflect on ourselves. So, I mean, coming from my experiences, I experienced a family with a mother and a father. Then my father passed, and I experienced just a mother and having sisters. And I was left with the role from my father. He always taught me to take care of these women. So even when my father passed and even my mother's concerned, she's like, son, you know, you got to take care of these women, you know. And that's one thing that did harm. It harmed me in some past relationships, that I was always dedicated to my family and making sure my sisters, my mom, them was straight, but I was neglecting the woman I was with. And it was one woman I was dating. She was like, you know, your family is going to be the reason, you know, we break up, you know. And I didn't understand that at the time. And it dwelled on me, you know, like I was, you know, doing so much for my mom and my sisters, and I was neglecting stuff that I was supposed to be doing at home with the queen I was with. So definitely, I think experiences matriculate us into maturing and growing into who we envision ourselves being or who we're supposed to be. So definitely, those experiences of being let down, those experiences of coming up short, you know, they all cater to molding you into the man that you'll become. And I think experience is one of the greatest teachers. And also, you have to reflect on yourself. You have to be able to look at what you've done wrong, what you've done right. You know, how can you get better? You have to look at it with an honest eye. You know, you go in relationships. I'm pretty sure people have been in relationships. You've done somebody wrong. You've been in relationships where you've been done wrong. And that caters to, I mean, I know a lot of times people build that wall up and they take it into another relationship and they have that wall built up from those experiences. And I think that's something that we all have a problem with, male and female. I mean, from your experiences, you build up a wall to protect yourself. And I think it's unfair to your new relationship that you have that wall built up, but it's only to protect yourself. And, you know, as time goes on, then you gradually start to lower your wall or that, you know, or so forth, so on. But I think it's very important to gather from your experiences and, you know, from your past, and gather from all that, and to make you a better person for a relationship, for someone.
Anybody want to chime in on that?
As the great Mickey Howard said, experience is a good teacher. I just had to throw that in there.
Wait a minute, Necole, you want to hit a high note for us too?
No. Tracy,
Yes.
you did good. You did good, Tracy. You did good.
All right, Drone, you got something for him?
No. I was just listening, and y'all keep it flowing.
No, I got another question because I'm talking to two educated women. Is it important for that person that you're with to be on the same equal playing field as you? Or I mean, how important is that? Because when I say that is, like I said, you're both educated. does the male or the partner has to be on that same education level with you or financial wise, or how do you look at that?
Necole, you want to take it? You want me to go first?
You could go. You could go first.
No, I want
Okay.
Necole to go first. Necole, go ahead, Necole, shoot first.
On the same plane. So I'm gonna be honest with you.
I just want your opinion. I mean,
for me, I need somebody to challenge me. My mind is always going. I'm always trying to do, bigger and better things. I don't want really, to be honest with you, I don't want to be on the same. I need somebody to be above, higher than where I'm at. Right? Challenge me to get there.
No. I mean, not on energy level. I mean, everything that you see, when you need to be challenged. I know, because I know there's a lot of people out there that's not on the same, especially when it comes to education level, and they might just challenge.
Oh, so we talking about education?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Educational, financially.
Is that important? Is that important? Not energy wise or,
No.
Okay.
No, they don't. No. I'm more about energy and, like having goals and plans and, going above and beyond. Where are we going in the next 5 years? Okay. Right? We can't keep staying on one plateau. We have to strive forward and upward.
Okay.
No. My daughter is in the room with an accent.
Now, I remember speaking to a young lady before, very educated lady. She's got a master's degree, and her requirements were, I'm not going to date a man unless he has the same education or better. And I understand where her point was, but I was like, you got slim pickings, because it's not many brothers that's, has excelled in the education field like that to gain masters and stuff. So I mean,
that are single. Yeah.
That are single, right. So,
and I'm gonna tell you, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna tell you, I can tell you one of the, and I'm not saying I'm going out there looking on the corner for one of the guys on the corner, but I was just listening to T.I. T.I. got a GED, but if you ever really listen to T.I., he is very educated. So don't get hung up on the fact that he doesn't have a degree.
Right.
What?
Right.
Exactly.
Right, because if you, I just need you to be smart here. Like let's have a goal that you want to reach. Where are we going with this? Right. Let's have that hustle, that drive to constantly be great at what we do. You're not gonna. There's no settle. No, I don't know how to settle. Right. So if you're not ready to constantly have a drive, it's like, babe, now how, and of course I'm not gonna go broke either. We ain't go on this like blind, like let's just throw all the money in it. Wait. But you don't have to have that degree. For me anyway, that doesn't impress me.
Right. So big. I mean, when you look at it statistically, I mean, African American women, if I can use that term, are the most educated group, in America. So I mean, they're way outpacing African American men. So to say being on the same level academically, you're not really gonna have that match all the time.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because of how the movement is now when it comes in, because it's a lot of promoting women to be independent, be this and this, and it's kind of like you don't need a man or you don't need a person to, because you know how they always say a man always, he's strong when he got a woman beside him.
Well, listen, ask that
question. The right woman beside him.
Well, I'm saying, ask that question then, B. Ask that question. Does a black or African American or indigenous woman, does she need a black man to have a this
Oh,
or the
a man,
relationship.
period.
Yeah, or a man, period. Does he need that?
Let me first go before I answer that question.
If you want to get the other question out the way.
I'm gonna go back to the other question. It's not important to me either to be on the same level with me financially or educational wise, because of all the reasons that you all have stated, and then how King Tut said it's slim pickings at that point. If someone is saying, well, he has to have a master's degree or a doctorate or whatever, then what about the hardworking 9-to-5 guy that's he's a great guy, he's a great father, or he's a great man, great morals, great values, just doesn't have that degree? You're limiting yourself for real.
Correct.
For real. And so no, it's not as important. Well, it's not important to me. You don't have to make what I make. You don't have to have the degrees that I have. That's not important to me. How you treat me is what's important to me.
Right.
Now, do I have to have someone? No. I would like someone, but have to have, I won't say that I have to have, because, and I think that's because of how, not only how I was brought up, but how I've always been. I've had to be that strong person, that strong woman that took care of things and handled business and, did all this and that. So I know that I can do it on my own. I don't want to do it on my own, but you do what you got to do.
All
I
right, now
agree.
answer the second part. Answer the second part of that question. Well, go ahead, Necole.
No, I agree with Tracy. I don't have to have someone, but I like to have someone, of course. But yeah, a man doesn't complete me, right?
Ooh, that's deep. I like that.
That's right.
Hey, yo.
that.
Now, me personally, growing up, I felt a little bit like, a woman don't complete me. But as I've gotten older, we need that in our life.
The woman to complete you?
Yes, we need that in our life, because often we can get too high. We can get so high, you know what I'm saying, and we have to have a woman to bring us back down to reality, because if we didn't, then, that's why I think, my opinion, I think that's why a lot of men do some of the savage stuff that they do, because they don't have a woman to complete them. They don't have a woman to balance them out. And so they get so high, or they get so head first into whatever they're doing. And as men, we're perfectionists. We go all out. And so if you don't have that woman to often bring you back to reality, sometimes as a man, we can get out there.
I get what you're saying. I think the right. So there's a balancing, and that's the same thing for a woman, right? We need we balance out same things. We could be a little irrational sometimes. So a little bit, yeah, a little bit. So we go to our man, and he balances out like, babe, calm down, right? Because I think we're more emotional, right? And like, nah, it wasn't as serious. And then he bring, it's a balance. It's a balance. I don't know if it's a completion, but it's a balance.
I got you.
There
I
we
like
go.
that. Trust me, because that's going back to, you need somebody to make you happy again. You need somebody to make you feel like you accomplished. But like you say, that balance, it's better to do it with somebody by your side, because you always need somebody to keep pushing you and keep pushing,
right.
Keep trying to make you go to the next level, make you get that energy and get that vibration to another standard. So Ola and Xola, you gonna come on in? She dropped in.
Hey,
But go ahead, Todd.
Before Xola drop in, I do want to say that as a man, I don't know if I could speak for all men on this, but
oh boy.
having someone to share your life with, that's invaluable. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because things you go through, and stuff that happens, when you don't have no one in your corner to share these experiences with and talk to, it often could, send you to depressions, certain things. So, I mean, even in the height of life, when you're experiencing your best life, you don't have someone to share it with. It's like, what did I get out? What did I acquire all this for?
Right,
So I think just having someone to share life with that's invaluable.
That's very true.
That's
I think,
good.
I think when he was talking about complete, I don't think somebody completes you. I think you should be a complete person when you come into a relationship with somebody else.
That part.
Because I heard for years, you do your 50%, they do their 50%, but that doesn't make sense. I mean, I got to do 100%. You got to do 100%.
Right.
For us to have a balanced relationship. If you're only doing 50%, then you're an incomplete person, and maybe I shouldn't be with you from this beginning. So, but I do agree with you, Ted. You need somebody to share this human experience with. I think it makes it much more pleasurable. And I totally agree with that. We got another guest, B.
Yeah, we got another guest. Ms. Xola. Xola, can you hear me? She waving. She hit the mic yet?
There she go.
There she go. How you doing, Queen?
How y'all doing? I'm trying to
Peace.
these angles on this camera.
You gotta get her pretty on.
Well, before Ms. Xola jumps in, Tracy, I know you had to do your show.
Yes.
I do truly, truly appreciate you bringing, the women's perspective to this.
No problem.
I guess pass the baton on to Ms. Xola, because
Absolutely.
Xola, is your friend gonna be with you today?
Bye, y'all.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye, Tracy.
It was so nice to meet you. Sorry I got here late. My friend is going to be here with me, but she's trying to cook and do other stuff. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I came here to get on the
in.
podcast with her. And she's doing, don't be talking from out over there. So yeah, she's trying to do a bunch of other stuff. So
no, that's cool. That's cool. As long as the energy is good, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? So no, Tracy has a show that she does at 9:00 called Tracy's World. She does her own radio show, and it starts from 9 to 10. Again, you can go to the App Store, get her app. Like I said, she starts every time, and I've listened to it because she be bringing that music, So I like the vibration that she brings and everything. So
she did have a nice voice, though. I wish I could have complimented her with like the shy lights. You know what I'm talking about?
So this is her app on the App Store, and it's free. So that's what she got to do. So.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm gonna make sure I download that app for sure.
True indeed.
Make sure you send it to me at the end.
I got you. All right, Ms. Xola. We're talking about relationships, and we're trying to get a woman's perspective. I'm taking notes. So, another queen on just, makes it even more, from different perspective. What is the most important thing that you need to tell your partner? What is the most important thing that your partner needs to do or to make sure this relationship will work? What's the most important pet peeve that you have? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for, pet peeve.
Well, when you already know, I felt unqualified to talk about relationships because I'm not in one. So I was like,
you are qualified. Are you not? Wait a minute.
Talk about relationships.
Wait a minute. Why do you say you're not qualified?
Because I feel like when you get relationship advice, you get it from people who are in a relationship. Like I feel like if I want to get relationship advice, I'm gonna go get it from somebody who's in one, because I feel like they can advise because they got it going on, it's working for them. But
have you been in a relationship?
Yeah, I was married for 8 years. I've been divorced for about 3 years.
Hey yo, you certified.
Right. I'm about to say yeah. You definitely could give advice.
But I'm still figuring things out. I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning what I like. I'm still learning to stand in my truth. I'm still learning what things I can wiggle room around, what things I can't. So I think the biggest thing for me right now when I'm looking for a relationship is just someone that I could be honest, open, and comfortable with. Like I can't deal with anybody that I got to be on eggshells to say something to, or to act something, or to feel judged, you know, about feeling a certain kind of way. So that's just like the biggest thing for me, because I think before, when I was in relationships, I always wanted to be like somebody saying what they're looking for, and then I try to be that.
Ooh.
You know? So
We just talked about that.
oh yeah, so that was like, now that I'm more so like standing firm up with who I am, I'm noticing that the people who I attract or are mirroring, you know, that type of thing. Like we both kind of just like in our truth with things. And then and a lot of times that truth shows you, okay, actually this won't work out, you know? So just that realness, you know, you're being very real and raw to each other, and you can accept each other's truths, and you could know, and kind of not misleading each other. So I think that's a big thing. I feel like a lot of times we pretend in relationships, and I don't want to pretend, you know.
Yeah,
You certified. You certified. Yeah,
for sure.
you certified. Go ahead. What's your pet peeve, Miss Necole?
Lies. I can't get past it. I can't get past it at all. Not at all.
That's only if you know the lie is true. If you don't know it's a lie, then what?
If you lying, so
I just throwing that out there. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
no, lies to lies. I mean, so one thing your lies gonna catch up with you. You know, just be. You know what I'm saying? So don't do it. Don't. If you did something stupid, just acknowledge it immediately so we can work through it. Let me have my moment, right? So we can work through it. But don't lie. I lose respect for you, right? I can't trust you. I have to trust you, right? So you know, my biggest pet peeve, lying.
So it's trust.
I can't get past. I can't get. If you lie to me the one time, I can't get past. I'm be honest with you. I can't get past it because I know you're gonna lie again. So I'm like, no.
But it
doesn't work.
What it was an important lie? What is it? It was an important lie. Like I know if I don't lie about this, I'm gonna lose you, and
that's
it might.
The worst.
That's the risk. That's the risk you got to take.
We gamble. We gamble.
I hear you.
That's like
that's
you
funny.
Time off of falsehood. Like you
I'm
gonna
keeping
pretend
it real
like
though.
and I'm rocking with you and you don't like it. Like no,
right.
The worst. But you know what? The thing about lies,
Come on,
is
B.
that you can't keep up with them. You know.
Say that. What you say?
Would you
say that?
Can't keep up with those lies. And then another thing is like, I feel like once I start lying to a person, I'm not comfortable with them. So I feel like I can't be in a relationship with somebody I'm lying to, because it's like I don't trust you to tell you the truth. So how can I be with you if I gotta lie to you? And I gotta, you know, I can't do that. I gotta definitely, you know, we gotta breathe through some things, but it's gonna be truth. You know.
Right. We just gotta go through it. Like if you did something that was that bad that you think you're gonna lose me, you just need to tell the truth. Because to find out it happened and you didn't tell me or was a lie, you know, you lied to me about it, you were gonna lose me that way. Versus, and the funny thing, the crazy thing is I tell everybody that from day one, like just don't lie to me. And I don't know why guys be like, well, you don't want to know the truth. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just told you not to lie to me.
Yeah.
You can't handle, and guys be like, well, women can't handle the truth. Where do you get that from? Like
that just something that we taught on the streets. How about that? It's something that it hasn't worked. I can tell you that.
It doesn't work.
That advice does not work.
It's stupid.
Miss Iris put on there lies, stupidity, and just laziness. Wow.
Yes. Oh, yes, lazy. Yeah, no, I'm not getting up to go to work and you laying there and I'm walking past you. I can tell you, no, this is not going to work.
So for me, I have learned energy. That's like my if your energy level, if you know when you don't connect with somebody, especially if you're in a spiritual mindset, that you know that
Mhm.
that energy is if it's disrupting you, or is it if you're a certain way and then when this person come around you, it rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah.
No matter if they look good or not, or if their conversation is not, you already know that they're gonna bring bad aura to
Well,
you.
why would you? Let me ask you this: why would you be in a relationship with someone with bad energy? I'm just asking.
I just said because maybe that person look good.
Yeah.
Maybe that person, maybe, hey, appearance is important. Not saying, I'm just saying.
Really? So and then
I'm only
I
giving you
know it's
my
about
opinion.
women. I know this is about women. I get it. I know you
I'm
want
giving you my
the
opinion. I'll only give you
I'm
my
just saying.
opinion.
But
I'm digging a hole for
I
myself
understand this.
too.
I understand that you want to hear the woman's perspective, but I just want to understand this from a man's perspective. You would date a woman because she looked good, but had bad energy. I'm asking. No judgment.
That's for you, Brian.
I think so.
Yo, that's for me.
What's your
What happened to
I
King
can't
Tut?
answer.
What happened to King Tut? He went quiet. He just disappeared, and we see a light.
Tut is Tut at work. So just in case
Oh,
Tut
okay,
walks out.
okay.
But
Okay, I see.
have I in the past? Yes. Now, if I were to do it
Really?
now, no. Hell
Thank
no.
you, Jerome.
No.
No. But again, we was young. So young, you didn't even pay attention to energy. You only went by a fictitious what you thinking that person's supposed to be. Everybody wants that perfect man perspective. We want that perfect woman body that keeps us attracted. But once you get older, you kind of like, my body's not looking like that. Not only that is, it's the mental. If your mind ain't right, or you like you said, you don't need education. You don't need a piece of paper to say that you're educated.
Mm-hmm.
It's just your energy. Your energy can be so strong that it just draws me to you, and I don't even pay no attention to you, or I don't even know what you really look like. It's just your energy is what attracts me. So, you know.
I
Go ahead,
think.
Jerome. I hope you bail me out of this, man. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna try, B. I think. Now this is just from a male's perspective. I think relationship and what men think about relationship changes as we get different ages. Woman, even when they're young, they have this what relationship means, and it stays pretty constant till they get older. But for a man, it kind of evolves. Relationship is like just being with a woman. Yeah, I'm in a relationship. We do this, we do that. But as you get older, it's like, no, you need a life partner. You need that person that builds with you. You need that person that you want to truly spend your life with. I don't think at first when men are younger, I don't think that's the thought. I think it's just, being with, like B said, somebody that looks good, somebody that, makes your ego feel good. I think that's probably what it
Trophies.
is
They
at
call them
first.
trophies.
Okay.
Not
I'm
all
not calling them
trophies
that.
can get broken. Trophies can get broken.
Is
Right.
that like?
I mean,
is that like
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Jerome.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish, but I think if you listen to society, if you listen to music, I think younger men objectify women a lot, and so it's that object to have, But then as you get older, as you start to really mature, you really want a person, you really want a companion, you really want a person that you can grow with. Go ahead, you can finish. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Xola.
No, I was asking. So, is that the goal for the relationship? A lifelong partner? Is that the goal? Like the ultimate goal for the relationship? I'm asking because
Yes.
Because
when you first meet them. I'm jumping on Xola's question. I'm jumping on Xola's question. So when you first meet them, you're looking for a lifelong partnership, or you looking for the what?
You talking about in the beginning or as the relationship gets?
I mean, when you meet somebody and you're like, this is feeling like the one. Is your goal a lifetime partner with this person, or is your goal just I don't know, because I have my own thoughts about that. Like
What was your thoughts? Tell us what you think.
What's your thoughts?
It's your opinion. And we don't judge you. That's your opinion.
No. So my thoughts about it is, like when I meet somebody, I meet them, and as I'm meeting them, getting to know them, I don't really put any, like I don't be like, oh my God, this could be my future husband. Like I don't really put any categories on things. I kind of flow with the energy. I flow with it. Right. And then that tells me, you know, kind of like where it's hitting. Because I realized that when I used to meet people before, like when I was a little bit younger, and I would right away be like, oh, you know, this is my boyfriend, or this is, you know, just trying to make it something, you know, before we even really know each other. You know, I think it takes a while for you to really know somebody, because people don't open up. Like, you know, it takes a while. Like what happens is when people be in relationships, I think they start breaking up once they really start to know each other, because it's like you didn't really know each other. So now that you're together 2-3 years, you like, oh, you know, like, oh, you know, this ain't what I thought it was. But right. So I think that's real important, because when I did get married, I got married very young. I got married not knowing the person really. It just was like, you know, I was practicing Islam. I didn't really know the person. We were kind of trying to keep things halal, you know, doing everything the right way. And, you know, once we moved in together, I was like, I'll never do this again.
Right.
Like, I have to know you. Like, I have to know you. Like, I will not play the surprise mystery box game again. Like, I have to know you. Because, you know, because then what happens is once you're together, once you're married or you have a certain status, you feel like, you know, you're entitled to tolerate. Like, that person has to tolerate because that's my husband or that's my wife. So, you know, you kind of stay involved because of the titles you have, not necessarily because of the energy that you share. So that's why even like my views on marriage and lifetime partnership, they're coming back to me. But before I used to be like, because, you know, I had like a real, it wasn't real traumatic, but it was just like, you know, like, wow, you could really just, you know, not know somebody, but just want this title with somebody. And it could be really bad, you know?
I think this is just an opinion, but I think a lot of women get married, like you said, for that title. I'm his wife. Yeah. Not knowing who that guy is. And again, it goes when you go and you get in this marriage, you look like, I don't even like you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, what is this? But you got married because he said, ooh, and that start, and it's funny because I heard Jerome say something like, when women date, we know we have a thought or a plan in our head of what this is going to. No, we don't.
I'd be like, you show me what it is. We're gonna find out what it is. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And then the moment, and so as little girls, and if you go back to like this, you know, the fairy tales, you know, Prince Charming comes in and sweeps, you know, Cinderella or Snow White or whoever off their feet, and, you know, and they live happily ever after, right? And if you grew up in a household with your mom and dad, you might see that too. But for the most part, it's always like fairy tales. So the moment somebody said, "Okay, let's get married," you're like, "Oh my God, me?"
That's what I'm talking about.
and that's the problem too. The movies end when they get married.
Right.
We need to see
it
part
always
two.
get right.
We need to see
Exactly.
part two. What happened to you?
What happened after the marriage? Right. Like once you said I do, who is this I'm laying next to?
Yeah. And I also feel like marriage though has a lot of like ownership. It has a lot of you know, some people want to get really into like the control, like they make things like that not healthy anymore. So it's like,
because everybody, and this is going back to what I said earlier, everybody has a different view on what marriage is, right?
Yeah,
you had your own view of marriage. He has his own view of marriage. And when you said, let's get married, did anybody communicate? This is what my expectation of a wife is. This is what my expectation of a husband is. That conversation probably didn't happen as thorough as it needed to happen. And then you found out in the midst of the marriage, like, oh, wait, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And why it didn't happen? It didn't happen because what? Afraid to lose what we got.
You was afraid to lose the
so
guy.
Like,
you afraid,
look,
right.
I'm normal,
you afraid to lose and lose that
healthy,
title.
I'm mentally well. I look good. Like I'm ready, so that's what I was saying about like why just being honest and truthful, even if it's like if somebody can't handle your truth and who you are and your journey and your story and just if they can't handle that. Yeah, and that's the first thing, right? Because once we love ourselves, it's just be like doors open up you don't even know. Like you be like, oh, what? Really? I didn't even know. Right. Because then it becomes, like you said, that intellectual attraction. It's not just that physical attraction anymore. So I think that's important. For a long time, we get caught up with the physical.
Right.
When somebody just look good, you can't hold a conversation with them. You can't talk to them about nothing. It's just be like, you could just send me some pictures because this ain't about her. Yeah, because I see that a lot too. We just know how to keep up,
Right. Very much.
All right.
Yolanda, babe.
Oh, look at the doggy. Look at the doggy.
You got a question, B?
Somebody else just jumped on, and I'm trying to find out who it is. Yolanda, babe.
Oh, that's my friend.
Oh, my bad.
Getting on. That's right. There we go.
There we go. All right. Tell her to go ahead and hit her pitch and hit her mic. Well, this about to be interesting. Still adding people on. I'm scared to ask questions.
Wow, you're doing a good job, B.
Don't try to put me on the spot. You're getting me shot at. These women. But it is important. But I think it is how we are, us men. It's the environment that we grew up in that makes us look at the women. Once I started loving myself, I actually had to go to therapy to get to that point.
I was gonna ask, what do you think? What age limit? Like, I'm just asking. Not that you have a number, but like, what age do you figure out? Like, you know what? And the reason why I asked that, Mia, please, stop.
Mia asking questions too.
I know, but the reason why I asked that question is people that I've dated, right? In my past, they went and got married down the road, and then they'll come back like, yo, you would have won. I should have married her. What you marry her for? And I can tell you, I've heard that many times. Like, no, you want it, in my mind, you want it, we don't do that. Sorry. No, like, no.
What's your sign? I don't do that either. I'd be like, oh, well, I don't take steps back.
Right. Well, no.
You made your choice. I'm like, you made your choice. So.
You made your choice, right? Move on, right? But but it's like, but you wanted, in my mind, you wanted the victim. You wanted the female. And no, for everybody who's watching, I'm not calling females victims. I'm not calling, but you wanted the one that wanted to play the helpless role. You right? Because I'm a go getter. I'm the one that's gonna go out there and make things happen. Okay,
yeah, that might be a little. You got to find the right person for that, because that could be a little bit intimidating. Because even myself, like, I do a lot.
No, it is. It's intimidating.
Yeah. And people want so much energy, and sometimes when you can't get it to them, it's like, they can't really still rock with you. Right. Like, oh, I really was feeling you, Xola, but you don't got time for me. But I think, like, people like that, I'm kind of like, you trying to slow me up. Like, we got to be on this road together. Like, if you try to slow me up, I got to fall back on you.
Right.
Okay. Yo, wait a minute. Is she coming on? Is she coming on? Yeah, I really want to hear her, because her last name.
We in the same room. Is it going to be messed up if she have her camera on?
You say you're in the same room?
It's spelled wrong, B.
She should just be over here with me. She should just be with me in this camera, right?
There we go. There we go. There it is.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Okay. I got a question for Yolanda.
Yvonne. You can call me Yvonne.
I'm so sorry. Question. Your last name Bay. Is it really the Bay, or it become Bay? Because I need to know if you're on that level.
Well, I always thought that it was like a Moorish descent thing, but because of my family background, it's spelled B-A-Y. Right. I have a long thing. It's just no one really knows. My father, I didn't know my dad, but on his birth certificate it says Sunset Al Bay. It could be El Bay.
I got you.
Right.
Who knows? So what we talking about tonight, y'all?
Let's go. Go ahead. You've been hearing it. Let's get it in.
Just to say, I'm in the age demographic. I'm over 45. I'll be turning 50 in November. So if that, like, I think I was coming upstairs and I heard someone ask like, or mention something about age.
What age does self-love?
Oh.
It don't happen.
Wait a minute. Was that the question you was asking, Necole?
Yeah, I was asking what age was it? What age was it that you realized like it's not about the trophy wife, but it's about long term, that the commitment with that person.
When you get in your 30s.
Oh.
I don't really think there's no set age for that. I think it becomes a discovery process when you're done. I always say to people, because I'm an intuitive empath, so I hold space for people to talk about things that are traumatizing or shameful, that bother them. So, and I also do healing touch. But so for me personally, I never knew what self-love was. I was not taught that. I did not have those examples to follow. And as a teenager, we all go through trauma. I'm sorry, did you want to?
No. Tut was telling everybody he has to go. But go ahead, keep going.
So, we hold on to things that happen to us, and then unknowingly we attract the type of partners that match whatever we're going through. So for me, I think that realization can happen to anyone at any time. It just depends on like how much shit you've gone through in your life. Are you tired enough to where you're ready to stop believing whatever falsities have been out there about love and romance? Actually, that just takes a back seat. You have to work on yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And know that everything you need is within you. For me, it has happened just within the last 2 to 3 years after leaving a narcissistic relationship that I was stuck in for about 12 years. So I had to realize this is not serving any purpose. It's not good for the child. It's not a good example for the child, and it was a lonely process, a painful process, a disturbing, uncomfortable, but I found like those uncomfortable moments have led to epiphanies. And it was you grow and as you start learning about yourself and really loving yourself the way you wish other people would love you, you will naturally the people will gravitate to you. You don't have to search. And I used to always hear that like, oh, once you discover self-love, it will come to you. And I was like, what? Okay, whatever. Like, like I just really.
It's that energy. Your
it
energy
is.
You start to glow, and what happens is you radiate from within. Whatever you feel inside comes out, and either it attracts. It's kind of like it's. Let me say, I don't want to say it right. You can either attract mosquitoes, or you're going to attract bees.
Butterflies.
Butterflies.
Wait a minute, but we understand how important bees are. Understanding what I'm saying when I say bees.
Yes, you're light. Everybody wants to
trying to get some honey. He's trying to get honey.
I like to call them
mosquito. I'm trying to use an allegory. I'm trying to get up there, y'all.
Energy vampire. Yeah. Energy vampire will be drawn to your light, and they will want to feed off of that.
Also, you only attract what you think you deserve.
That's true. She said you only attract what you think you deserve.
Oh, trust me, we here. I don't know why she disappeared, but we here.
Oh, she's coming right back. She's setting up something.
Okay. Jerome.
Yeah. So I thank you guys for just welcoming me into your space.
Hey.
Thank you guys.
We writing down. I'm taking notes. I'm 45 years old, and I'm really starting to understand just women, period. So the fact is, it's kind of like, you don't get taught this. Where do you learn this from? It's not in you can read it in the book, but at the same time,
it's life.
In the way life is, you're gonna get burnt a lot.
It's so much to learn from pain, though. Pain is a good teacher. It doesn't feel good at the time, but
it sure doesn't. But yeah, it's definitely a good teacher.
The other side has its rewards. Like, I think my whole life has been nothing but a traumatic movie. And I'm finally at a place in my life where I was just talking with Sister Xola today, like, I move to tears on a regular basis at how the universe and God just blesses me. Oh, like, it's just, I just be flabbergasted. Like, what? This is for me? What? Like,
because you connected with the universe and stopped, and you left it's kind of like you unplugged from the matrix and really understanding what the true power of what we deal with. It's all about spirituality. You have to be in a spiritual mindset to understand a lot of different things. We tend to want to, like Jerome was saying earlier, is what is the way society wants everything to be. Like at today's moment, we're evil. No, we're not. We're not evil. You know what I'm saying? We are painted a certain way that we're not. Men, black men are painted a certain way. Black women are a bigger threat because of the education level that y'all can. It ain't the fact that y'all go to school. It's the fact that y'all just assume a lot. Not saying I ain't gonna go ahead and say y'all smarter because dudes might be shooting shots at me. But what I'm saying,
I think we have a different savoir-faire that we operate with. We have a certain type of
you're just on a different plane. But at the same time, what happens is you balance. Once two people are balanced, oh my God, life is going up. What the fuck you asking y'all questions? Why am I sitting here talking? Go ahead, Jerome. Question.
That's the question. Let me make a statement first.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm saying she asked earlier about what age. I don't think there's an age. I think it's just a level of maturity that you come to. Like for me, I'll be 50 next year, and it was later on in life that I learned that total honesty from the beginning, is what you should have had in your relationship, because when you're not totally honest, that word that I truly don't like the word expectations, because you try to fulfill somebody else's expectations and you're not really being yourself, and they're trying to fulfill your expectations and they're not really being themselves. But then when you start to mature and you're like, man, I can't act anymore, I just want to be me, that's when you see the relationship start to fall apart, because you start to see the real person who you should have started as from the beginning.
Right.
And so that's what I wanted to answer a question on that part.
Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, Mia has worked her way back down here in front of the camera.
I also too believe that, like, when you're not able to be authentic, well, let me rewind that. I think in relationships, people sometimes tend to feel like every disagreement is an argument, and there has to be, the foundation really has to be respect and friendship and honesty and trust and acceptance, to know that I accept this person regardless of how fucked up, not to make it seem like, oh, anything you do is I'm gonna be okay with. But the things that I'm not okay with, I need to know that I can speak openly and freely and honestly, and it's not gonna lead to an argument, that you're actually gonna listen and maybe perhaps make the adjustments necessary or take my feelings into consideration. Like when you mentioned about expectations, I think when people have those type of expectations, we're really just breaking our own heart. Because you're setting yourself up to get let down. But then at the same time, here's the flip side. You expect to be treated a certain type of way, right? Like you would expect, let me see what I can use for an example. Like I would expect, if I'm out in the streets and I'm coming home late, and I expect for my man to call me and make sure that I'm okay. So there are those type of little things but then if you don't call, then what happens? I'm pissed off with myself because I wanted him to call me so bad. But there's still the other part, like I have to express to you how I feel and know that you're going to take my feelings into consideration.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest killer of relationships is communication.
Mm-hmm.
I think
wait for one of y'all to say that.
they don't have healthy communication. I think we made a lot of assumptions, like by culturally how we were raised. We feel like everybody's heart is the same. So if I wouldn't do that to you, you feel like they wouldn't do that, you know. But you know, we're all still learning, especially like many of us don't have examples. We have what we see on TV, and most of the times that's toxic. When you see how Black relationships are displayed, so you don't have enough healthy examples. Maybe, you know, like when I got married, I was like, I'm like going to be the first person in my family since like my grandmom to be married, you know? So, you know, things like that kind of just push you because you feel like, you know, you don't have no example. So I think the counseling is very important. When you feel like you want to really go in a relationship, I think getting some counseling, getting a third party, and just really, you know, understanding each other, like really get to know each other. And it's a constant thing because I'm not who I was 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
I'm not who I was last week.
So you always want to be, getting to know the person who you decide to be with, you know. And at some point, I think if you stick with it, you get it right. But we got to get it right without those what is it called? What did we say earlier? Stipulations, I guess.
Terms and conditions?
No, I think you should have terms and conditions. But I think you have to, if you decide to be with somebody, if you want to do this monogamy thing,
have boundaries.
If you want to do that, I think you have to really, you know, be open to understand that this person is human and there's flaws involved. And you know, it's be like, how much can we take from this, you know? But before we realize it's just not working. I think people quit a lot. I think people quit over a lot of things, many things. I think people quit over cheating, over financial issues. I think people quit over so many things that they could actually work things out. Like if you really are good to each other, it's not all the way yet. If you're really good to each other, if you really care about each other, you know, I think you could really, you know, if it's healthy, you could work it out.
Okay, we went 1 hour and 15 minutes before a female said communication. I thought that was supposed to be the most important thing. I am disappointed in you
asked
women.
That question. You didn't ask that question. You didn't ask that question.
I did. I said, what's the most important thing? What is your pet peeve? What is the most important? Communication.
You said what is our pet peeve? You didn't say what's the most important thing in a relationship.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing in a relationship?
Well, we already know. We just answered that, Brian.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, well, yeah, open, honest communication. Like, let me tell you my truth. Like, this is what I did. This is how I feel. This is why I did it. You know, where can we go from this? Because it's companionship. Like, even if I'm not with somebody, I want to uncouple in a healthy way. You know, we get to the point where we let things become so toxic, and you know, and then we just be like shook up. You know, we done. Like, I ain't never gonna be with nobody. So.
But I mean, that is facts. That is so facts, and that's something that a lot of people, because sometimes you might be on a level that person sees you and they trying to do whatever they can to impress you, and they step outside of being who they are. And then when they got you, they kind of like, okay, slowly I'm gonna bring it down to the level where I'm at so she can know me. But sometimes you might just be bigger than what, you know, he looks at you bigger than what you know you really are. Am I saying that right? Am I saying that right?
No.
I don't know, man.
That's why I said
wrong.
But those flaws and that humanness, and understand what's okay. We're going to make some mistakes. What mistakes, you know, can we work things through, and what mistakes are, you know, fatal? Like, what's the low blow mistakes, and what's the ones that, you know, we could work through? Like, you know, this mistake about me. Let's, you know, because that's one thing I don't like either. Like, I do a lot of relationship help. People just come to me, and I'd be like, you can't tell me all this stuff and y'all still together, because I'm just like, you know, like people come and tell you like so much stuff, and you be like, oh my God, you know. And I'm like, if you rocking with that, I think you should have just, you know, preserved his honor and just kept that to yourselves, because it's crazy.
And you talking about you wasn't qualified to talk about.
I'm not. I tell people.
You got people that come to you in relationship.
Don't ask me about no relationship, because I'm still figuring things out. I really am, but I'm in a real genuine, sincere place with myself. So I'm really able to figure things out and figure out what I want, you know, instead of like what's in front of you. A lot of times we don't go by what we want, we go by what's available.
Salt and sugar look the same.
Yeah, salt and sugar look the same. Look, but if you're able to kind of like hold your own ground and just be with yourself for a little bit, I'd be scared of people who don't know how to be alone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you just in relationship after relationship, like you don't know how to chill with yourself for a little bit. Yeah. Get it back together.
I was like that. I was
like that. Why
I
were
was
you
like that until I was about 28.
I would like to add something.
I was scared to be alone.
Oh no, I'm okay.
So
I would just like to add, like, there's no specific age. I know someone close to me who is in his early 50s and is not really woke. So I've been watching patterns and behaviors and certain nuances, and I'm able to pinpoint in our discussions that some men, this man in particular, most men, they look for distractions to distract them from what they're currently miserable or stuck in that's not working, because they don't feel like they can honestly communicate to their partner what they're feeling, or that they don't feel like appreciated, they don't feel nurtured, they don't feel any of that. So they just would rather shut down or look for a distraction in another woman. So next thing you know, now you got yourself in a whole nother situation. Or if you leave one situation, there's not much time, like Sister Xola was saying, where you're just by yourself, figuring out your own things and trying to just nurture yourself. You just, boom, go to the next chick that pops up. Now all of a sudden it's 2 years and now you're upset because you don't understand why y'all still not getting along, because you started off of sex. You didn't start off of communication. You didn't start off of that. So it's like now, you know, there's a realization, like there's a lot of men that just jump from one thing to another. Women do the same thing too.
Yeah, that's I think that's the Black Widows.
But the thing is this, you got to be comfortable with talking. A lot of people walk on eggshells, and because they want to avoid an argument. You know, unfortunately, their partner may not have the communication skills, so they'll feel like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with it. I'm not even going to talk about it. It gets brushed under the rug. Now you have a pink elephant under the rug, a mountain, and it's just growing, and everybody walking around it, avoiding it. Mm-hmm. That builds resentment. Next thing you know, I can't stand your guts.
Yo, that's so true. And like, my thing is this: if you look on your relationships, you could see how much people can compromise. Look at your first argument. Mm-hmm. Like, what was your first argument about? My first argument was about toilet tissue. That was our first argument. He was like, because I wasn't working, he was like, I work, I make the money, we gonna use Charmin toilet tissue. And I was like, no, I don't like Charmin. I like what was it, Scott. I was like, I like Scott toilet tissue. It's better for me. I was like, I'm a woman, you know, it's better for me. It doesn't get me messy. I don't want this toilet paper, all these rolls on it. And that was like, we had like a real argument. We was in like BJ's. We was really like, it was like a real argument. Like, I was like, I'm about to kill this man over him by this toilet.
No, that's important. Toilet tissue is important. You get the right one. You don't want that soft stuff.
But I think that kind of stuff shows you people, like, how much, or you can't compromise over toilet tissue. You can't. You know, what made you think, you know, but we still have these ideas in our heads that, you know, or this is normal, couples do this, you know. And that was our like first big argument. I think that was like right after we got married, like literally we were moving into the house buying stuff.
Oh my.
And we were buying toilet. I was like, so
really in the game.
I think that shows a lot, because I always, when I'm talking to people, I always be like, what was your first argument about? And then sometimes the first argument be about something really deep, like worth the argument. But, you know, sometimes I'm like, y'all was really arguing about that, you know, then. So I think that shows you how much people are willing to compromise and work with you.
You know, I think it's beautiful. I had to go back to, remember in the Sacred Sister Circle when there was that one sister that shared about what her idea of romance was, and I had like this big epiphany revelation moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of relevant to this, like not what I shared, but there was this sister in one of our groups, right? So without just going into her personal thing, she had realized that she had an unhealthy view of romance. So I've recently come into the same realization during that, after reading what she wrote, I had a mind-blowing revelation that, you know what? You need to stop complaining because you do have this. So the sister realized that the type of romance that she was seeking is similar to what a lot of women seek. Like Xola said, we don't have examples, maybe some of us, most of us. So we have television. You see functional, good family like the Cosbys, and that's what you want to get. You want the Cosbys, or you want Martin and Gina. That shit don't exist in real life. You know, it may be in the beginning, the first 2 years.
You got to make it your reality.
You got to. But see, me, I over romanticize everything I'm doing. So if I'm taking a bath, I'm languishing in luxury. You know, like if I'm sipping tea, I'm sipping from the fountain of youth or something. You know, like I'm really good at creating, because I'm a dreamer. But we're Sagittarius, so we do the same.
Yeah, we're Sagittarius.
Yeah, we're only 3 days apart. So
I am a Capricorn.
So anyway, the topic was, the sister said that she realized that her views were unhealthy and she gathered her thoughts together. So then in doing so, she discovered that romance for her is the act of being committed to actually getting to know a person over a period of time, pre-physical intimacy. Now, for most of us, there may have already intimacy has taken place, but that doesn't mean that it needs to be the sole focus all the time.
Yeah,
you have to find other ways of being intimate as well, from simple things.
That's how I used to feel. Like if I had sex with a guy too quick, I wouldn't want him for a relationship anymore.
Right.
I'd be like, he just wanted sex, I'm on to the next. Like that was just too quick. Like I start to feel that way. I don't know how PG this is, so I don't want to say too much when we're on Facebook. But but yeah, I think that's important too, because you start to feel like, why is it, but being older, you realize it's not always about that.
Right. Like I'm able to create intimacy just watching TV and holding hands, or doing a hand massage, or neck massage, or foot massage, or I may receive a foot massage.
And that's how men have to be too. I was talking about earlier, I was manifesting the type of man that I wanted. And we were talking about how our idea of what a masculine man is has been really toxic. Like you think someone who pop off, ready to fight, do this, that's a man, And I think when we get when we get into a little bit more balance, we realize that those are not healthy traits of manhood. But growing up, you got like the thugs and you just in your mind you think that's,
even the
that's
songs.
a man.
I want a soldier.
Yeah,
like even the songs.
So yeah, I think we got to definitely check our views on each other, because even that's how a lot of men get caught up with thinking they
macho.
Yeah.
So okay, so continuing on, right? So she says that, okay, so the understanding that it is an absolute necessity to provide a safe space every time a private invitation is presented, showing interest in the stories of daily life of one another, a complete and total respect of one's boundaries, apologizing for shortcomings, and listening to one's concerns and requests, in addition to the ability to provide supportive and/or solution-based responses, a respect of one's time, and gratitude toward the gift of genuine companionship.
Genuine companionship.
When I said that, she said, what y'all think? I was like, I'm spinning around to realize the things that I complain about not having or wanting or building in our relationship, I already have it. I have everything that she's just said. I have that in someone, although I don't understand. It's difficult to understand, like when somebody's like calm, and for me, because in my past it's always been like turbulence. Yeah, so like I'm not used to a man that actually thinks about what it is that I've said and takes the time to process it before he speaks. So for me, sometimes it's like, oh, you didn't hear what I said? Like, why you taking so long to answer it? Like, and I'm
slow to speak. He's
ahead.
actually processing it, what you're doing. I got
Right.
Necole had to, she said she had something to do, but she did put it in the chat that if you're not comfortable to speak within a relationship, then you're not valued in that relationship.
What did she say?
If you're not comfortable
if you're not comfortable to speak in that relationship, then you're not valued in that relationship.
Exactly.
Because that's what people are looking for. Like, when you're in a relationship, they want somebody to come and talk to and not feel judged, not to tell you about this. You don't be like, oh, you a bum or this and that. You know, like people really need that. So yeah, that's really important. That's really important.
People need to be able to talk about what bothers them too. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Trauma, like,
and that's why you gotta have, like, honestly, do you remember when I put that application up and I was like, I have an application. Do you remember I was on Instagram? I was like, have an application if anyone's looking to you don't remember I did that? I used to do like real wild stuff. So like just I would be serious and people think I'm playing. I'm like, yo, I have a husband application. Like, anybody who wants to fill this application out. Like, and people were sending them to my emails too. And I was like scoring them, and I was just like, because I think that's important, because we think we're supposed to know already. Like, what makes you happy? Like,
a lot of women don't know. Yeah. They just accept whatever comes their way, and also, they judge it by the size of the man. I feel like the man I'm with is supposed to know that, instead of me telling him, this, I don't like this, but and that's how we get that bitterness, because we don't express, like, actually, we expect people to read our minds.
Yeah, that's the problem. We do.
We expect a lot, and that's what I'm saying with women. Sometimes we put a lot of these expectations on men. And it's already like, lately my focus is to really spread the word or share with people when I do connect. Like, men are out here just as traumatized as we are. And until everybody needs to heal. But until men actually heal, they'll be toxic to any woman who tries to love him. Any woman.
I agree. Is that something that you look at? Because a lot of women don't look at that.
What do you mean, look at it in what way?
No, that he might be damaged, or he might, be traumatized, and he don't have himself together. And and what happens is you got a lot of females feel like, I can build them up, I can help heal them, and that's when you made a big mistake, because you cannot heal a person that doesn't know how to heal themselves. And that's something that that's just in relationships anyway. You feel like you can take on that person's problems.
Well, I agree with you, but I also do firmly believe that sometimes people just need a trigger. Sometimes people need, like, not a bad trigger, but a trigger to go within themselves, whereas they never would have. It just by way of talking, listening, questioning. That's mostly how I'm just like a trigger person. Like, if I'm talking to somebody, I'll ask the probing questions that are uncomfortable. But I think most women, they have this false sense of, oh, but the other woman isn't me, and maybe I can, and they just need to accept that. It don't matter how good you look, how good your sex is, how good you can cook, or how much money you make. It doesn't matter. A man is going to do or change when he is ready to change. Mm-hmm. When he's ready to change for himself. Like, if a woman is beautiful as Halle Berry and Beyonce can get cheated on, you know what I'm saying? What?
We don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but
we don't stand a chance.
I'm just like, oh shoot, sorry, I just dropped the whole.
You know what? Since you put in that perspective,
I just feel like women put a lot of expectations on men, and I just feel like, not to say like we don't need to dumb ourselves down. We need to just be kind of more patient and understanding, and create a safe space where that man can feel vulnerable and safe to be vulnerable
and tell you stuff. Isn't that so amazing when you build that trust, when they can actually tell you some stuff, and you could be like, wow, you could be like, I'm not judging you, like, I understand. Because a lot of us like, I think we don't want to express what's wrong with us because we don't want to be like damaged goods. We want to be like no one's gonna be with me if they know I have this issue or this happened to me, or I'm struggling with this, or I'm dealing with that. So what happens is it comes out, but it comes out through action, not really from them telling you. So then you be like,
I'm not a mind reader, right?
What's up with him? He doing this, he doing that, and it's because he can't express his past experiences.
No, but I agree. I was like that. I feel like I had too much baggage.
Okay, so how do you feel, Mr. Jerome?
I think a lot.
I'm quiet, man. I hate this.
You got quiet.
No, I mean, I'm listening.
My flag vest can only take so many shots.
But no, it goes back to what I said from the beginning. I think we should start a relationship with honesty, and it took me a lot of years to figure that out. Is that when you can be honest about who you are, and that person, like we talked about, acceptance, can accept you for who you are. I think that builds a strong relationship because it's you get true feelings from people. You don't get the feelings that they want you to feel, or you think you're connected, but you're not really connected.
Yeah, and people got to stop trying to sell themselves.
Right, exactly.
Stop trying to sell yourself and be you. And either people going to rock with you or they're not. Right. Yeah, and I had to get to that point too, where it just was like, it was like, forget what a man wants. Like, what do I want? Like, who am I? And not trying to present myself in a way that's because we got a lot of things that we're taught to be ashamed of. So
I figured this out too. Because you use the words "what you want." A lot of people are confused about what they want and what they need in life. Sometimes we negate what we need for things that we think we want. So learning to be true with yourself, learning to be true with the person you with. You start, because you have to teach somebody how to love you. Because they don't know you from whatever. They just met you. So they don't know what she talked about triggers. They don't know what triggers you. They don't know what makes you happy. They don't know what makes you cry. So you got to teach the person that you with, and they got to do the same, how to love each other. And if y'all are committed to going forward with each other,
right?
So I think understanding what type of relationship you're in first is key. Sometimes it's just what it is.
And I think the second biggest relationship killer is comfortability, though. Sometimes people get so comfortable after like 3 years, 5 years. They get like so comfortable, and it's just like, we in this, and it's just like, actually, I'm trying to get out of this because we ain't doing none of the stuff that we did before, and it's not. That's what when I think of longevity, I think of things like that. I'd be like, darn, I would hate to give somebody 10 years, and then
That's why it's my goal, and that's my life's mission, to awaken or just share my testimony with younger women, so they don't have to wait until they're like over 45 before they figure it out. So
I want to say, because comfortable, I don't want to say it because we want to be comfortable. So I don't want to say in that sense.
I was about to ask you that question.
I wanted to translate.
I was about to ask you that, because you want to be comfortable.
But I feel like
complacent.
People just become satisfied, and I think they don't
they don't do what they started off doing.
Because you constantly gotta fall in love with each other. So we can't just be like, we in love. I'm gonna drill it in your head that we're in love, but we become stagnant.
And a lot of people say that they're in love.
Stagnant, and women leave when it's stagnant, and they just
those are those uncomfortable moments that people don't want to do the work and don't want to communicate and don't want to.
I would hate to have like a boring relationship.
And that's what's scary. That's
maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Like, I would hate to have something that's just so boring. I'm just like, this was nice, but it's just
okay. But here's the balance. Okay, this is like I told my daughter this. My daughter's 27, and she's married, and she has a 2-year-old, and I had to explain to her, because she had similar things, and she was like, we don't do anything. We don't go and do anything fun. And and I'm like, baby girl, I get it. But either you want to have fun with somebody that like, all right, or you want a hardworking man who's gonna work all the time, or you want somebody that wants to just goof off and have fun and be
have both?
Well, you can probably have both, but I told her.
Like this.
I told her it can happen, but this is what you create the fun. You schedule it and tell him, listen, on this day, this is what we're gonna do. Like, it's not, he's busy, he's working 2 jobs. He don't have time to have fun. He go to work and he go to sleep. He wake up, he go to work, he come home and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And it's just difficult when a person doesn't have time. And I kind of dealt with that too, where I was in a really selfish, like, yo, you don't make time for me. Like, I'm over here waiting for you and da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, stop being such a selfish person, because this is a person that does not have time to begin with. Instead of complaining, why don't you just appreciate the moments that this person is carving out to spend time with you, you know? And clearly they're calling you all these times a day because they enjoy hearing your voice during their day that's stressful. So yeah, I get, we want it all, but while we want it all, we're missing out on valuable, good character and quality men because we want it all. So that's not to say like we should bring down our standards, but we should just be more aware that when you're young still. So, but I'm over 45. So dating over 45 is like going to a thrift store and hoping that you don't find something that smells like mothballs. You know what I'm saying? If everybody's damaged, do I really feel like going to meet a new person and connect with a new person and deal with their stuff and be like, oh, okay, knowing in my mind, I can't wait to leave. I don't want to do that. It's much easier to deal with uncomfortable moments and say, this is a man, like you say, you manifested the type of man you want. I have a list, and pull it out. Go ahead.
Let me ask this question, because a lot of times, like you talked about, we had our vision of what romance is, our vision of what relationship had been messed up. You know, women have been taught that they should be chased by a man, right? So the process of chasing is the things that he do to get you, right? So once he got you, he doesn't do the same thing because he's not chasing anymore.
No, we're here.
Somebody threw the phone down. Who got mad?
No, my bad.
So they're not chasing anymore. So they don't do the same things to do to get you because of that. So that's why I talk about honesty in the beginning. You know, it shouldn't be a game. You know, if we evolve.
It says the host has disabled it.
Whoa, what happened? I didn't disable
the video. It said the whole.
Hold on. Let me
get your video right.
Let me get your video. All right, hit your video. I was waiting for Necole to get back in. She jumped back on.
That's it. Hit the button that says start video.
Yes. There we go.
There you go.
I did keep touching it. I was trying to move it.
So you know I'm here. But again, I can't. It says the host has disabled the video.
Oh my God! I got it.
Fix up video.
All right, go ahead, Necole. Jump back in. There we go.
Again, Jerome, because a lot has happened. You got to say what you were saying again, because a lot happened, and I couldn't hear you.
All right. So what I was saying, you know, I said our view on relationship. You know, women view that they have to be chased, and so a man does certain things to catch that woman or to get that woman. But once he has her, you know, everybody relaxes. That's that comfortability you're talking about. You know, you're comfortable with having her. You don't have to do the same things to get her because you have her. And I think that goes back because there was no open honesty in the beginning of what the relationship should be, what you expect the relationship to be, because we evolve every day. We're different people from day to day to day, so we grow. I think when you become comfortable, it's because y'all didn't understand or didn't discuss what the growth of the relationship should be. It should continuously grow. You should not be comfortable.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Because if I'm going to be with one person,
right? When you're a different person every day,
longevity with somebody, right? I'm like, look, you know, we got to be doing
the growth part of it, though.
Yeah.
You have to me, and this is just me personally, you don't have to do it, but you have to like set different goals, right? And
and that's the communication.
And just the journey to those goals is the beautiful thing. Not the goals itself. You may never achieve the goal, but the journey that you have together, that you evolve together, that you grow together, that you're walking the path together. You know, that's the important part.
And you know what? I also feel like, and I'm gonna ask you that, Vonnie. Do you feel like you get more settled with somebody? Like, is it easier because when you're older, do you put up with more things that's not your idea anymore? Like, do your ideas change? Because I know you were saying like it was like going into a thrift store. So is it like the stuff that maybe bothered you before?
Ain't that damn old, but
no, I'm just saying like the dating.
I feel like GameStop. I hope I still can get at Walmart.
No, the dating pool. You know, the dating pool is just
I know. I'm just playing. I know what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah, because people are like, it's like an old dog don't want to learn.
I feel like that happens because I changed my views when I got older. I'm not older.
You're gonna change your views next month.
Like, I used to only date men who was at least 6 feet tall.
Right.
Like, that was one of my things. Like, back, it didn't matter how nice.
How tall are you?
He was like,
how tall are you?
I'm 5'4". But even if a guy
little
was
people
5',
want the tall guys and leave us tall girls out here with these little guys. All little women went with the tall guys.
Yeah, I'm only 5'3".
Tall girls.
Like that.
How tall are you, Nicole?
And look,
I'm 5'10".
See, look. But then, would you date a shorter guy?
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
But you know,
because we all want to feel like we're gonna reach up and put that foot up behind us when we go to get that hug, like you know, it's so demure.
Put that foot up.
Listen, that's how I used to do.
She's a fairy. She's, you know, she likes the fairy tale thing.
Wait a minute.
No,
so basically, Nicole, you need somebody at least 6'3".
Why? But Nicole, why wouldn't you date a shorter guy?
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Yes. What if he had?
Let's get into this. Let's get into Nicole right quick. Let's go. You see me jump back in.
If he had every quality that you look for.
Popeyes right now. Hold on. I'm gonna answer that question. Hold on.
Oh, don't try to get out of here, man. Don't try to run.
No, because like, you know, when I was little, like when I was not little, but when I was younger, I had that list, and then it was the time when I was like, you know, just visual. It was like, he got to have this, and I want him to have that, and you know, and
you didn't throw that list away, did you?
Huh?
So hey, I wanted to jump back on here real quick while I get my food. I'm in drive-through, but I'm headed to my girlfriend's house, and I wish I could get there so that she could jump on this conversation.
Yes.
Thank you, hon. Thank you. All right. So no, not that I would. No, I don't. When I say I don't date short guys, I don't date like guys that are like 5'6". And the reason why I don't date guys that are 5'6", you can already tell that I'm very forward thinking. I'm very confident in who I am. And I can tell you, I'm not here. Little guys have, they have the Napoleon complex. I'm not here to challenge you. I'm not here to, I don't, you don't have to prove anything to me. Like, short men, for me, have this Napoleon complex. They always strive to
they have because they were messed with as younger kids. Like, they were probably
I can't deal with that. I'm an adult. So I get it. I understand that you went through whatever you went through in your past, and people teaching you because you were little and stuff. I get it, but I don't have time for that.
Hold up, Nicole.
But
That's not
Nicole,
fair.
wait.
You said you 5'10". There's a lot of dudes out here that's under 5'10".
So listen, if they didn't have that complex with them, is it like cut off right away? Do you cut it off right away when you see the height? Do you give it a chance, or do you cut it off right away because of the height? Because I used to do that with Capricorns. I wouldn't date Capricorn men.
I don't think.
Hey, whoa! That's shot fired.
You hear that, Brian?
Oh no, bye.
Ain't nothing wrong with no Capricorn. I'm not gonna sit here and let you talk about Capricorn men. No, I'm not gonna let that happen.
Listen, I used to be that way.
I am a Capricorn, and I'm proud that I'm a Capricorn. I'm not gonna let you here attack
I used to be that way.
So Brian, as a Capricorn, because I'm a Capricorn as well,
but I like Capricorn women.
We're very direct. We're very direct, Brian. Us Capricorns, I've been looking. I'm like,
I love Capricorn. My mom's a Capricorn.
The women are different from men.
Capricorn men, and I always get tested with Capricorn men, and I be like, don't even do this again because it's been consistent. Once you see something that's consistent, you got to be like, okay, that's the truth about this. This don't mix with me. Well, in a relationship, we could be best friends, but when I try to be in a relationship, my ex-husband, like, I kept attracting Capricorns, and I just was like, I can't. Like, they are really this Capricorn.
You just ain't found the right one. That's what it is.
They're controlling, they're narcissistic, and they don't know who are without money.
Here we go again. I'm not accepting it.
I didn't say all that.
The ones I've experienced.
Okay, all right, good.
This is my thing about Capricorns. Let me tell you my thing about Capricorns. They could be physically with you, but in their mind, they be having plans.
Yeah.
They be having like a whole plan.
That's true.
I'm like, wait, so you mean to tell me like you had a whole plan?
It was a plan, yeah.
Like, so you really was, you said we was going to work it out. You really was working out of here. But I'm thinking,
hey, I plead the fifth on that one.
They know how to be emotionally available.
Brian, I'm gonna.
Wait a minute, Necole. Whoa.
You muted.
What happened? What happened?
Always thinking. Like, we're always moving
Go ahead.
But the women are totally different from the men. We're just saying Capricorn.
They're not totally different. But when women do it, it's more acceptable. You accept it from a woman. It's smart when a woman do it. When a man do it, it's brutal. It's like
different when women.
I am loving this show. This show really.
I didn't know you were a Capricorn, Brian. You should have told me that. I wouldn't have brought that up. That's how. But you know what?
Dealing with honesty.
But I also was in a way like if I think somebody from one country that's bad, I would leave the whole country behind too. Like if I met somebody,
we are always thinking.
Jamaica, I'd be done with all the Jamaicans. I used to be that way.
Hold up. We was on Necole, and how we get on the Capricorn? Let's get back on Necole. Because you asked Necole a very interesting question, and she never answered that.
What was the question again? Let me make sure I answer this question. Why do I date short people? Because
not.
She said
no,
when
the
you
question
see
is, when you meet a man, do you cut him off the rip because he's short, or do you get to know him first and then realize that he has this complex with him?
Immediately, no, so I will say this: he immediately goes into the friend zone. Like I'll get to know him because I like an educated man. An educated man is everything to me. Right now, when I say educated, I'm not talking about degrees because we talked about that earlier. So he would really have to be smart as hell for me, like make me think outside the box for me to look at him. If he's shorter than me, for me to look at him in any other way than a friend. Like he would have to be talking right,
like making some moves and
talking right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Like he would really.
Because you know what, you have a right to what you are attracted to. So that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say like the shortest I would go is 5'9", 5, maybe 5.
5'8". 5'8". I feel you would go 5'8". That don't look that bad in pictures.
She put them heels on.
I feel 5'8" is
right.
cool.
If I put my heels right, it's a quarter. Like, can you carry 5'8"? Like,
listen, and you agree not to wear heels when y'all go out. I think y'all be cool.
She put on heels. She's like 6'2".
Men are liking, listen.
You absolutely right.
You see them short men.
And you absolutely right.
Look what happened with Meg and Tori.
He was short?
Yeah, he was short. He 5'2".
That's why he shot her in the foot 2 times.
And she's 5'10". Look what happened.
Yeah, see, look. Stupid. There you go.
I agree.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's all that.
Hey,
so
for all y'all people out there, because of Necole, you have to be 5'8.5".
I'll be back.
5'8.5" to be in her friend zone. To be in her friend zone. For all you out there.
You could be in my friend zone anytime. Like it don't matter how tall you are, if you know, but you just 5'8.5" in that direction other than friend zone and a half. Brian and Jerome, how tall are y'all?
5
foot.
Me, I'm 6'3".
See, perfect. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, they look tall too.
Right.
And Jerome is not far from Charlotte anyway.
Oh, where you at, Jerome?
I'm in Forest City.
North Carolina.
That's correct.
Okay.
How are y'all doing with the storm that just passed through?
Oh,
You
I'm
okay from the storm?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, we just got hit. I mean, we about to get hit again tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, sun just came through. I don't know what the hell that was. That scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do because
This is too funny. No, this is so fun.
which is good. I like humor. I like it. I don't know how we got on these signs, but like I said though, I am not gonna sit here and let you destroy Capricorn men.
But you said
up
it
for
was
us
the
Capricorn
truth.
men. I'm not letting you do that.
When's your birthday?
Is that Capricorn?
Wait, listen, this is the final thing. You are December or January Capricorn?
31st.
Okay. Yeah, he pretty much January, so yeah, that's really bad.
What the?
It's funny because the January Capricorns, they don't hold nothing. You'd be like, oh.
But I'm saying though, my son is a Capricorn also. Is he a Capricorn? He's born on the 14th. That is a Capricorn.
The 14th of December?
No.
No, I don't think that's Capricorn.
January. That's January. 14th.
Oh, January 14th. Yes, Capricorn.
Oh, he is?
Yes, Capricorn.
Yep. Y'all similar?
You know what? That's an interesting question.
Because sometimes when you raised by, it depends on, when I meet people too, I be wondering what signs like their mother is. Because sometimes it's like what sign they were raised under too. I'd be like, no wonder you was doing Gemini stuff. Your mama Gemini, she had Gemini ways with her, and you took some of that on.
That's funny.
Like, you know, because environment, like all that stuff. And I used to not be into the zodiac.
What if their parents are Capricorn? What if both parents are Capricorn?
Then,
aggressive.
Yep, say a prayer.
Verbally abusive. Yeah, everybody's aggressive.
Yeah, Capricorns, but I'm not going. We're going to talk about the signs on another show.
Yeah,
I don't want to put you out there like that.
I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to take it. I'm not.
Relationships, like what about the relationships? Can I ask a question? What about relationships like, let's say, for example, I was speaking and referencing the movie She's Gotta Have It. Like, what about the woman or man that just feel like one specific person doesn't satisfy my every need? Like, let's say the one person that you really, really like just doesn't have time for you. Ooh. Not that they don't have time, but they have a strenuous work schedule. So you may just feel like, okay, well, I need to be held sometimes. I need to have someone available to rub my back more often, or I want to go to the movies I want to go out on a date. Like, what are your thoughts on polyism? Like, you know, poly.
Is that for this show? Is that another topic?
Whoa, that's deep.
That's a total different topic. Okay.
Well, we just turned. Jerome.
No, because I'm talking about
you gotta answer this, Jerome.
I just wanted to know, like, how
actually, you guys. You know, to be honest with you, I just watched. It's a guy. Hopefully, one day we can get on this podcast. That's actually in a poly relationship, and I was listening to how the dynamics and how everything that he does. It's interesting because that's more of a tribal type thing. It ain't gonna work here. Black women here, I mean, it just depends. If you feel like that's something that you can do and you can handle, go for it. But
I know that's right.
There's a lot of people that just can't do it.
I think some people serial date because they don't want to be like committed to one person, and then when you're dating, it's kind of like you in all these fields kind of, and you getting chased and whatever, and I don't know. But I definitely feel that way too. I think it's kind of vain for a person to feel like you're gonna be the only person I'm attracted to or want to be with for my whole life. Mm-hmm. I think that's heavy, like for someone to feel that way.
So like, you okay with it?
No, I feel like, am I supposed to really be your everything? Or are you supposed to be my everything forever? I don't know.
Right.
I think that's is that fantasy? Is that a fairy tale?
I mean, I think it's possible.
I think it does work. It depends on culturally how you are raised.
Right.
If you are raised in a household where your parents was that way, that's your you know,
structure.
You feel that way. But if you was raised in a way where everybody had love child and this and that, you know, your views be different. So I think it depends on how you were raised with your views with that and how it could work. Now,
You didn't answer the question.
What did you ask?
I said, how you feel about it? Are you okay with that?
Well, you know, I come from an Islamic background, so I'm not terrified of it. But I believe there has to be balance. If a man could dip and dab, I think it should be open for the woman too.
I think if
you want to open the door, you have to open it all the way or leave it shut.
I personally have know several people that are Muslim, and you know, they're close to me, my friends, and you know, some of my family, and you know, although I did learn from one of my friends, like, yes, a man is allowed to have up to 4 wives if he can financially take care of them and not favor any one of them. It must be fair. Mm-hmm. But then a lot of, you know, and I respect that more so than, and I understand that more so than somebody who step out and cheat. You find out they got a woman in Delaware, another one in Jersey, a kid on the way. Just be honest.
Yeah, that's the honest part too.
That's the honest part, because I want to know, what am I signing myself up for? If I'm going to be wife number 2, then at least I know that coming in, and I've agreed to that. And a woman also in that situation, there are women that hate on each other. They don't think about these children have to grow up together. So if you're going to step into something like that, you have to love that man so much that you love who he loved too. So you have to have a type of love for that co-wife and be able to say, let's say that co-wife was sick and couldn't take care of the kids. You guys step in, and are you going to step in too? Or there are other people that keep their households separate. You may have 2 families, one live over here, one live over here. I haven't known of anyone that live all together in one home, but I do know some that support each other as sister wives should. So if you're going to engage in a sister wife type of reality, then be a real sister wife. You know what I'm saying? Have a real bond and love and friendship with.
What about a brother husband?
How about that? Let's talk about that. What if a woman wanted to have 2 husbands?
I'm just saying, when you talk about that, men love that topic. But I think that topic, like poly and things like that, even like people who are open relationships. I know a couple who are in an open relationship, and they're both in an open relationship because they both have commitment issues. So they're like, we here, we love each other, we financially, you know, got this going on, and we started this business together, but we understand that we have commitment issues, but we're still committed to each other. So I think we can't judge things, especially when you have like a lot of other things that are being passed. Like there's you know, the gay marriage rights, just so many things. So whatever works for people works for people. I think people gotta just find what works for them, and society has to back off on whatever works for people. You know, you can still have your you know, what works for you, and everything ain't gonna work for everybody.
Right.
Everybody can't do everything.
Right.
Jerome, come on in, bro.
Come on in, brother.
Come on in. Get off that mute.
Yes.
Come on in.
What was the question?
Really?
What do you feel about these topics what do you have to chime in with?
Me personally,
yes, you personally.
I know. No,
and not just personally.
Everybody's relationship, like, you know, is their own. I definitely don't see a poly working. Just, I guess, culturally how I was raised. So I don't know. I'm not saying it won't work for people, because it does. But for me personally, no.
It don't work for me either, but I'm just saying I'm able to think on both sides. Like, I'm able to think outside of myself.
Right.
And I have respect for other people's views on marriage, relationships, and I can understand it. It may not work for me. It may not work for me. But although I have been in a situation where I left one of my children's dads and he started a new relationship while things were kind of choppy or what have you, I left. So clearly I don't want you. So you have this new woman now. She was like 10 years younger than me, and I was still very young. And so age is nothing. Age is just a number. But the point is, it was really shocking to him. And I think he had a harder time handling it, how I was easily able to accept her in my heart. And even now, to this day, my son is 24, her son is 22. They just was here over the holidays. We, slept. They stayed over for 3 days. But from the beginning, because they were from overseas, and from the beginning, when she came to the States, I was like, you guys come over for Christmas breakfast.
You got air on here?
Yeah, you want the air on?
Yeah, what you got, central air?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to turn
Turn it off. Lord.
Oh, no.
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm freezing. I'm freezing.
But the point is, I think those type of things men are uncomfortable with because they're so used to women being at each other's necks and, being catty and petty and those type of things where you really just do your best to accept someone the way they are and just say, hey, our kids are going to be siblings forever. Yeah. So it just makes sense for us to know each other and love one another and support each other.
But I think as a community, that is something we got to work on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's like even when we break up with each other, we can't hate each other.
Yes, why?
We got to be like, he wasn't good for me, but he might be good for you. We can't be, I always say, I'm not a cock blocker.
Right.
I'd be like, if he wasn't good for me, sis, I ain't saying he trash. He just wasn't what I thought he wasn't what I needed. Right. So I think just to, as a community, we have to work on really loving and caring for each other.
Mm-hmm. Because most people don't know how to break up unless they even create some type of drama.
Yeah, I'm like, this does not have to be this dramatic.
Right, you
That's
could
how you
just
be
tell
staying
me.
and stuff. You be staying and stuff because you don't want to face the breakup. You like, if I try to leave him, he gonna lose his mind.
Right. And I've experienced that with my
But that's because people become too attached to each other. I don't practice attachment.
Right.
I practice dependency, sometimes codependency a little bit, but attachment,
and that's what it was hard for me to learn, because I had to learn in the beginning of dating the person I'm with now. I become so enthralled in the idea of being in love and wanting to love that I just will, it's like I create this love fantasy in my own mind, and I realize that, you know what, girl, you need to just cut it the heck out, because and that's the thing that I've learned from him also. It's like he teaches me that it's okay to go 5 hours without speaking. That does not mean that it's the end of the world.
Yeah, because I would break up normally if I don't
I would be like, you playing with me.
I'd be like, you in jail, you in the hospital, you sick. Where you at? Oh, it's over.
Right.
Because you can't not be in touch with me.
But like, I have expectations. You should call me when you wake up, and you should call me before you go to sleep.
And that's a fair expectation.
Right. But if you don't, am I going to be upset? But see, now this is where we get into where your partner knows you. Mm-hmm. Because I will be trying to fake like I'm not upset. And I really do understand. And I do understand because I'm a very understanding person. But if I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, as soon as I say, hey, he'll be like, what's wrong? Like, nothing. You're lying. I know when something's wrong. So it's like, you have to be, like Xola was saying, you have to be in tune with your partner's love language, your partner's cues. Because, for me, I would be more upset if my partner didn't recognize with my facial expressions or the way I'm behaving, if he didn't recognize that something was wrong with me. I think that would bother me more.
I understand that after a period of time, but we can't expect people to read our minds, though, right?
Yeah, remember we were saying that they can't read the mind.
Right.
That's true. That's why I be so blunt. I'm really blunt too. Like, I will really be like,
yep,
this bothered me, so we got to talk about this. Like, if you
that's me too.
If you don't want to, what that say? I'm blunt. She done put the mask on and say I'm blunt. I can't.
But see, that's a sad trait.
I'm very blunt, but I'm gentle with it. I'm gentle with it, but I will totally right away express like my dislikes.
Right.
I'm like, I didn't like, you know, when you were doing that. Like when we went out together and you was talking to that girl for like 5 songs, like I was about to, you know, I ain't like that. So you can't do that no more.
Like,
and then I like when I talk to people, they learn. So it's not, when you talk to somebody and still do the stuff, I'm like, okay, so you're not feeling me because you're going to keep doing it.
Or how about when the man, where you'll nicely and say, listen, I don't like when you do this and it makes me feel this way and I would appreciate if you didn't do it. Then if he turns around and says, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that ever happening again because I'll make sure that it never happens again. And that's not what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be like so petty. No, because like, I don't like when I get petty energy, like, oh, but you don't never got to worry about me doing that, or you don't never got to worry about me bringing that up again. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I want you to just is really absorb what I'm saying. Don't just write me off and just say, oh, you ain't got to worry about that again. Like, really just, did you hear what I said? You know, and then when you see the proof is in the pudding in the behavior, you change the behavior.
That's what I think is most important, action.
Right.
Like when you express somebody, you could do something wrong because they don't know you yet. But when you are able to express and then they go, okay, I'm going to fall back from that. That's a little trash can.
It is. I know. I'm constantly taking it out. Because this is a bedroom trash can. I don't get, the only thing I throw out is like, y'all quiet. Y'all quiet.
Okay. Oh, no. Because actually we kind of went over our time. But this is a part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. When can y'all be available to do another show? I'm putting y'all on blast right now. I got you on live right now.
When do you want?
I can't do that. Xola hard to get in contact with.
Tell them what time we do our show, B.
We do it Fridays and Mondays. Friday nights at 8 and Monday nights at 8.
You want to do Friday or Monday, but we're going to continue this part 2? Or we're talking about something else?
Y'all ain't finished talking.
What did you say?
So y'all not finished talking. I can tell. Y'all can do this for another hour.
But let's do some takeaways. Like, what did we get from all of this? Yes. Do y'all feel like we gave some good advice? Was it confusion? Was it
No.
So what did you take away from it? Like one thing, Brian.
Oh wow, now she flipped the question back on to me.
Yeah, what did you take from this advice and this talking and all this stuff this woman been saying? What did you take from it?
Just being a good listener, communication. Be very understanding, be very patient, stop judging.
I like that. Yeah, don't judge me. Judge your mama.
Yeah, see how quickly I got done with that? All right, I'm done with that question. Get Jerome.
I got a shirt that say that. Don't judge me, judge your mama.
Come on, Jerome.
What you take away, Jerome?
What my takeaway is communication. Being honest from the beginning, because that's where acceptance comes from, is being honest with the person. You know whether they accept you or whether they don't from the beginning. And so you know how far to take the relationship.
Yes, because I think that we used to think that lying was caring about a person, but it's really mad disrespectful, you know? Like, but I think we feel like I have to hide the truth because I care about, I don't want to hurt this person. But, you know, we got to face the truth. Is like the lies, you know? Sometimes the lies are more painful than the truth. Because with the truth, you could be like, you want to deal with this or not? And they can make a decision right then and there. But then you lie to somebody and they find something out.
Right.
Terrible. It'd be terrible for me. I'd be like, the ultimate betrayal.
Right, because it's too easy to talk. It's too easy to just say.
I'm like, what I'm going to do to you if you tell me something?
And we're Sagittarius. We love the truth.
Ain't nobody worried about y'all. Y'all just Sagittarius.
Jerome, what's your sign before we go?
Cancer.
Okay, so yeah, he's a Cancer.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Wait a minute. So I get attacked and he gets yeah. No, that's mad fine.
I'm a Cancer.
I have a son that's a Cancer. That's
they be so emotional, low key.
Y'all emotional but low key, and then you hold in.
You're trying to hide it.
Let me ask him a question. Do you tend to sometimes hold in your emotions until you like reach a point where you just pop off? Because you've been holding it in for so long, and then when somebody does finally trigger you, or you allow yourself to be triggered, it's like everything just comes out. Is that true?
Yes, Jerome. Come on, Jerome.
Well, I don't know if it's because I'm a Cancer, but I am a natural introvert. I don't really pop off like that. When I was younger, I probably did more than I do now. I'm more measured. I'll measure it twice and cut it once. So I don't know. I think that's more just personality than sign. But
and if you don't mind me asking, what's your age?
I'm 49.
Oh wow, I was gonna guess that too. I was gonna say like maybe 49, 50. Yep. Right. So you just turned 49.
I did.
Oh, okay. What's your birthday? July the teen something?
June 23rd.
Oh, okay.
That's
it's strong. I love it.
They got to crack you open like a walnut, bro.
What he said?
Yo, but I would like to do one on, especially with, I guess, because I do have a sisterhood, being spiritual and one with the stones, understanding the stones.
Yeah, that's her expertise because I learned from her.
It's hard. It is hard. You know how hard it is to get in contact with this woman?
She stay booked and busy. So if she makes herself available, that's a wonderful thing.
She answered your text is like 3 days later.
But guess what? I locked your number in now, Brian. So I'm be answering immediately.
Okay. So when I didn't
lock it in because it was a different zip code and I always know it's you, but now, Okay. So it's gonna be a right away, a quick turnaround.
All right. So we're gonna continue to build.
Yeah, we continue to build. We be back on here. Just hit me up Friday and Monday. We'll come on.
I thought y'all did something on Mondays.
You right. Fridays. Yeah. Yeah, because I was doing the money Powernomics book.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's big.
Yeah, it's been really amazing.
Wait a minute, y'all got a group session on that?
Yeah, we have it on Instagram Live. 8 o'clock.
Yes. We could have put this in here. It's about self-care, social skills, mindful practices, and therapy.
But
we can also refer to this little book. I picked it up for my daughter, but it's good for adults. It's Mindfulness Game on self-care, social skills, and mindful practices. So, it's a good thought-provoking things like, let's say, this one. Here, read this one.
All right. I got you.
It's set up for like a group of people.
Okay.
So the exercise.
Oh, I do like this. Yeah, right. We should do this for self-care or something once a month.
But they're different ones, so that you can do visualization, communication.
I like that. Give me that deck. Where you get it from? Five Below?
Yeah, Five Below.
Oh, okay. Five Below be popping.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm not going to.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay, get your last words out. Unless
what?
I'm scared to say that because I like y'all energy though.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we shall be back.
Yes, I look forward to doing this again. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Vonnie over because I wanted her to back up all my views.
Oh, so you need a support system.
I brought a yes man. I brought a yes man to back up everything.
No, you see, because
she do her own thing.
We're the same person.
She's me farther down the line.
She's an older version of you.
I feel that.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit. I look at her like there's some little differences, things that we do have, and I'd be like, no, I'm not with that.
Right, because I look at her as a younger version of me, but I still look up to her like a mama, but everybody look at me like I'm everybody's favorite auntie.
Okay.
But she's my sister mama. She's my sister, spiritual sister mama.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Jerome, get your last words in, my brother. You want me to do it? How you want to end? You want to end it or you want me to end it?
I think for the
you go ahead and end.
Oh, so that means you got to get your last words in.
All right. Oh, well, go ahead now. I'll end it. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, I learned a lot. Thank you, ladies. Necole, Zora. Okay, Yonne. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. Nope.
Yvonne and Xola.
Yvonne.
Who's Zora?
No, I know you. I'm talking about Yvonne. Yvonne. Also, Tracy, who was on earlier. I appreciate y'all coming on for the Three-Headed Monster podcast. You can check us out on Facebook. Three-Headed Monster Facebook, you either be on my page or on Brother Jerome's page, but we do have our own YouTube page, the Three-Headed Monster Podcast. Look for the icon, Anubius, and if you got any problems or you need somebody or you need me to send you a link, I can do that. I have no problem. I appreciate you ladies. Thank you, queens, for being on here. I definitely appreciate the advice, and we're gonna continue building. So
yes.
Finish it off, Jerome.
I'd like to thank all our guests too. It was a pleasure. Number one, communication, truth, honesty. I think those are keys to build relationships with. Look forward to doing this again. It's been a pleasure. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
B. Man, come on. You got to jump in there.
Dude,
let them get
you know
wild.
how hard it is to jump into that? Oh, wait a minute. Why are we still recording?
I don't know. Why are we still live?
What? I'm about to go get IV. Why? Oh, dude.
Hold on.